everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. And wow, what a subject we have to look at today, which is why it's a dark subject, let me say first, which is why I have the Soulless Tarot on the tarot table. And the dark topic is the Sussex Survivors Club and Duchess Difficult. That's back in the news. That old story from long ago, the bullying report, all of that got buried. And we've always wondered if any of this was ever going to come out, if Meghan's alleged true nature was ever going to be exposed to the public. Well, the Hollywood Reporter has started a takedown, or attempted a takedown, of Meghan Markle, an article that has burst on the scene called "Why Hollywood Keeps Quitting on Harry and Meghan," and it goes on to mention Duchess Difficult and the Sussex Survivors Squad, lists the high-profile employees, staff members who quit, not only in the UK, but also in the United States. So those claims that it was a cultural thing and Brits didn't understand the nature of hard work and weren't used to American can-do kind of attitude doesn't hold water, because there's some very high-profile American employees that have quit, including most recently Josh Kettler. And the article talks about noisy tantrums, and I'm quoting, I'm not making this up, 5 a.m. emails. And somebody says, a source, she's absolutely relentless. She marches around like a dictator in high heels, fuming and barking orders. I've watched her reduce grown men to tears. We're going to have a look at what's going on now, do a Celtic cross with the Soulless Tarot. A lot of people speculating that Josh Kettler might be in the mix here, that this might be one of his ways of getting back at Meghan and also Harry. Harry doesn't come off very well in this article either, but it's really targeting Meghan. She's the problem. She's the menace. She was the menace in the UK. She's a menace in the United States. That's my word, not their word, and that's my opinion. So some people are speculating that he might have something to do with this. There is also a rumor that's going around today that former members of staff are in talks with an American network to do a sit-down interview and tell their stories of what it's really like working with Meghan Markle, Harry and Meghan, I guess. And that possibly this might air next year. So it looks as though there's something going on here, that finally we might be getting to the bottom of this bullying allegations, the rumors that it's really quite intolerable. That's a terrible expression. That is really intolerable to work for Meghan in particular. That she's the difficult one. Harry kind of just goes along with it. And of course we know that that is allegedly why Prince William split the Royal Foundation, sent the Parkles off to Frogmore Cottage, and that's how Harry ended up in the dog bowl. That William was so incensed at the way Meghan was treating staff, and Harry also, that he confronted Harry, and it ended in Harry landing in the dog bowl. All of those old stories back on the table, quite literally, today here at MadWorldTarot. And let's remind you, because this is a legal story that we're dealing with, that this is just tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion. It's all speculation. I just read energy, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. And I haven't used these for a while. One more shuffle. Two of Cups, interesting. I'm going to do the Celtic cross, as I said, from the former staff members' point of view. What's going on? Who's behind this? What's their intention? What was it like working with Meghan? What do they think of her? Is there more coming? And is this what we've all been waiting for? The kind of the takedown of Meghan Markle. I'm sure this was a terrible shock to her. I'm not reading on it from her point of view, not now. I'm sure we'll get a clap back. Because she's been dancing around outside that bookstore for days, trying to merch stuff and trying to show that she's in with the cool kids still. And then came the sun in reverse. That's her. That is her energy. because she's Leo, of course, so she unfortunately, her energy tarnishes these Leo cards for me as a reader. So Sun in reverse, Sun is illumination generally. So Sun in reverse can mean that things are still buried, that haven't seen the light of day, quite literally. Sun is all about, oh, there's so much in this card. Sun is all about power. And Sun in reverse, abuse of power, ego gone rampant, just being out of control, scorching everything she touches, with that fiery energy that she's not controlling, she's not managing. When the Sun is upright, it's a joyful card. It's a wonderful energy to be around. It's heartwarming. It's lovely. Everybody blossoms in the light of the Sun, and that's what Leo should be doing. In reverse, it's toxic, it's burning, it's scorching, it's destructive, narcissistic, and also, as I say, the truth is buried in there somewhere. It's not coming out, not yet. So that's a very powerful card to be sitting at the underneath all of these other cards. Situation. I'm reading from these people's point of view, not Megan's. What is the situation? We've got the Six of Pentacles. It's a card of exploitation when it's in reverse. People who have been treated harshly, taken advantage of, or might feel that they have been abused in some way. And we're going to throw allegedlys all over this. I've already said my disclaimer. But that is an allegedly situation, that they might have felt that they were being abused, exploited, taken advantage of, overworked, underpaid, overworked. That's the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Upright, it would be fairly treated, feeling appreciated. In reverse, the opposite. What in particular is the problem for them right now, or has been the problem? The Death card. And the Death card is endings, and bitter endings, brutal endings. All these people had to leave. And they might have had to leave. It's quite a spooky Death card, isn't it? They might have left situations that they really thought were going to be amazing, and then found themselves unemployed, in difficulty, reputations maybe damaged. Because, you know, there it is on their CV, worked for Duchess Difficult for an afternoon, then unemployed for 6 months. It doesn't look good on a CV, so that's difficulty. But it's really having to let go of a situation, having to move on from a situation, which has been enormously difficult for them. Finding closure, finding some way of sealing that door where that energy is in their own spirits and in their own worlds, and being able to move on from it. It's a big card, Major Arcana. It's also just giving me a bit of Prince Charles energy, because Death is Scorpio, he's a Scorpio, and always it's speculated that the reason why the bullying report never saw the light of day wasn't so much that the people involved didn't want their names in the press, but because Prince Charles, as he then was the one that stopped the investigation. At the time it went to Clarence House, and it was squashed, and it was squashed allegedly because Harry was involved, and possibly even Prince Charles was involved in some of the less than lovely behavior towards staff. So his energy is in there. It's not the major energy, but it is in there. But it is really about having to leave, having to quit, having to end their employment, very much so, but also wanting to put this behind them, to close the door on this, somehow find closure. So who's behind this? What's going on? What's at the root of this? Let's ask who or what is why this article came out. We got the Ace of Swords. I would say that this is a shot across the bows from somebody like the late, or the most recent, not late, hopefully for his sake, Chief of Staff Josh Kettler. Somebody like that. I'm not going to say it's directly him, but somebody like that, with that kind of energy, with that kind of status, with that kind of power and connection. Maybe it's very much a lawyer card, the Ace of Swords, and he was rumored to have been speaking to employment lawyers, and I have read on that. And this is a kind of a truth that's come out. It's a very potent truth. And remember, the article says that a Hollywood reporter reached out to the Parkles spokesperson for a response on a comment on the article and got no comment, which people have speculated means that the Parkles didn't feel that they were on strong legal ground. So if they denied it, they came out and said it's not true, they might find themselves with somebody saying, well, here's a lawyer's letter and it is true, or we are alleging it is true. That kind of thing is in this Ace of Swords. It's a very powerful declaration of intent from somebody who's very strategic, very smart, very confident about their truth. So it's interesting that it's looking ferocious. I mean, this article was ferocious, but the energy in here is ferocious, really. So what's the goal with this takedown in the Hollywood Reporter? What's the goal? I've got the King of Cups. It's interesting because it's not Harry's energy necessarily. It could be in this case. It's almost like it's a plea to the royal family, because we've got two Kings of Cups sitting there, the King himself and Prince William. And they're both Kings of Cups. They're both water sign men, very high status water sign men. It's almost as if they want attention drawn to the story. Look over here, because those are the two that could do something. They could release that report. They could shred those NDAs. They could do a lot to make the story much easier for the staff that are in the middle of this, or who are probably fearing legal action against them if they do speak out. So that's one level of what's going on here, that there might be some sort of direct appeal going to the royal families. Please do something. Please release us from our NDAs. Please stand by us or stand with us. Please show us some support. We need your help. Cups, of course, are support, loyalty, emotional connection. Might also be targeted at Harry. He very seldom shows up as the King of Cups. He doesn't have much in the way of empathy. But this article did say that he was a very nice person that was just kind of going along with Duchess Difficult. And it might be an appeal to him as well to show some loyalty to staff, friends. Allegedly, Josh Kettler, for instance, I'm not singling him out, I just happen to remember this. Josh Kettler was allegedly a friend of Harry's before he was employed by Harry to be his chief of staff. That was the rumor anyway. I don't know if it's true at all, but I'm just reporting what was rumored or speculated. So it might be some sort of plea to Harry and his better nature, his better angels, so to speak. Let's go back to the past and ask how these people experienced life with Duchess Difficult and her high heels, the little dictator stomping around and shouting and screeching. I've got the Knight of Cups in reverse here. It's a very emotionally disturbing energy to be around the Knight of Cups in reverse. Upright is somebody who woos you and sweet talks you and is very charming and loyal and devoted and all of those lovely things. And in reverse, they might have been wooed into working for her with all kinds of promises and, oh, I'm the best employer ever and you'll love working for me and I bring the ice cream truck to work and, you know, it's all that kind of sentiment and schmoozing people. And then when they do arrive, it turns out to be the absolute opposite. She might be quite cold, she might blow hot and cold, be really volatile, be really manipulative, really upsetting, that they don't know where they stand. That kind of energy with the Knight of Cups in reverse is just never knowing what you're going to be getting on any given day. Is she going to be all sweetness and light, or is she going to be absolute the dictator in high heels, as they say here, the relentless energy, the noisy tantrums and all that kind of stuff. So an emotional roller coaster for these people, just not knowing where they were at any given moment. And it's a very distressing environment to be in if that is the case, and we can only speculate about what might be going on or might have been going on. They seem to be really short of staff if at this point they're having to email People Magazine directly themselves. Is there more coming? Let's talk about that rumoured interview. Are we going to hear more? Or is this the only kind of a blow? I've got the Seven of Wands in reverse. That is people being very vulnerable, people having no defences, and my sense is that it might leave Megan very vulnerable. Whatever is coming her way, she's got no defences against whatever it is that is coming towards her. Because I'm not reading about from her point of view. I'm reading from their point of view, and when I see that Seven of Wands, I feel like she's an easy target. This kind of has softened the situation, possibly. And possibly there is the hope that Harry will jump ship, so to speak, or the royals will come on board with the story and help out. It's possibly what they're going for. But the Seven of Wands in reverse is Megan as an easy target after this. They've softened her up, and then they can pile in afterwards. They might also be thinking that there isn't much money to lawyer up at this point. Harry's squandered all that money on all his court cases in the UK, and they might feel that she's quite vulnerable financially as well. I don't know where that's coming from. That just landed, so that's I'm expressing an opinion about that. That seems to have come through in the energy of that card. How do they view Meghan Markle right now? King of Pentacles in reverse. A terrible boss. The King of Pentacles is the boss. He's a good boss. He's loyal. He's reliable. He pays you well. He's knowledgeable, experienced, solid. You know, been in business for years and years, knows what he's doing. Made his fortune. In reverse, wasting money, erratic, unpredictable, inexperienced. Pays poorly, doesn't know what they're talking about, no business plan, no strategy, none of those things that a good business should have. But it's also Harry. We can't leave Harry out of the picture when we've got the King of Pentacles here. That is seemingly that she's a negative influence on him. And I'm just expressing energy and opinion here, of course, and being guided by the energy of the cards that are coming through. And that is a Harry card, the King of Pentacles, Earth sign Prince, King, in reverse, in his shadow aspect, acting out, behaving badly. And, you know, it wasn't only Meghan that allegedly was very difficult to work for. Harry also. So there's that. What pressure are these people under? We can imagine NDAs and things like that. We got the Star. They want to heal. They want to heal. And I saw this with the Death card over here, the heart of this reading, that their challenge, their struggle is really how to heal, how to move on, how to put this behind them, let go. And that's why the Star has showed up here. They really need some sort of healing gesture in this situation. And very often when something like this has happened, whether in your work environment or your personal world, you want an apology. You want someone to own it and say, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have treated you like that. I'm sorry is always going to help you, because then you're heard. You feel like you're noticed, and what happened really was bad, and you were right to feel upset about it and to walk out, Death card, leave the situation. So they want healing. They want some kind of gesture, and it's a big gesture because it's a big card, the Star card. So it's not NDAs and things like that. I think that sort of truth has cut through those NDAs quite powerfully. And I'm sure those lawyers, those smart lawyers that allegedly were consulted, can find a way out of this legal situation, constraints that these people might feel they're under. Hopes and fears for these people. We've really got the card of hope here. Temperance, balance. They want balance restored in their lives. They want to sort it out. Again, Six of Pentacles is an imbalance in reverse, and they want recompense. They want justice. They want to be heard. They want to feel better. They want to be restored to their former state. They want to be compensated somehow. It's interesting that that's coming through in that Temperance card. They want peace in their lives, but they need some form of compensation. That's what's coming through. I'm getting some quite strange energy coming through in these cards, not normal energy that I would expect in the particular cards I'm reading. But again, I'm just allowing this energy through, and I'm expressing, of course, opinion about what this energy might be expressed, might mean. Outcome of the situation, and I'm looking at Megan really, is this disaster for Megan? Is this it? I mean, the way this article was worded, why Hollywood keeps quitting on Harry and Meghan was pretty much, you're done, you're finished, you're toast in Hollywood. What's the outcome for her? Queen of Pentacles in reverse, yeah. Pretty bad for her, because it means that her ability to monetize herself is compromised. There's the matching pair, the King of Pentacles there, Queen of Pentacles, which I said was primarily her energy, the bad boss, the horrible boss. And now we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, telling me that she's going to struggle to make connections, to monetize herself very much. Queen of Pentacles is about being grounded and generous and loyal, and finding the good in situations, the good things in life as well, building up a solid enterprise. If she's trying to launch American Riviera Orchard or whatever else she's trying to do, who knows at this point. She's not going to succeed. So that's very clear. That's going to cost her. It's going to cost her at an earning potential level. But there's something else in that card that I have to say, because the Queen of Pentacles is the good wife card, just like the King of Pentacles is the good husband card, and they're both in reverse. This could cost more than her reputation in Hollywood. It could cost more than people looking at her and thinking, I don't want to invest in that woman. She's too difficult, she's too unreliable, she's got too much baggage, there's too much bad stuff that's being said about her or rumored or speculated. Too difficult to work with. There is something else, and that is that it could actually preempt some kind of split between the Parkles. I think they're split long ago. That's my personal opinion. But it could become more formal with that Queen of Pentacles in reverse. That it might be that if Harry wants to save his reputation, and I think he is the kind of guy, this is my personal opinion, he's the kind of guy who would save himself first and not bother about anyone else. He showed himself to be that kind of person. I think he could be induced to dump her if she is that toxic. And if he wants to save his reputation and come across as the good guy in this, and she's the villain, I think we're heading towards battle stations and people aligning themselves and finding where they actually want to do battle, and who their allies are, and all of that stuff, and a possible divorce. That is lying in here for me energetically, as well as just the obvious stuff about nobody ever wanting to go and work for Harry and Meghan ever again, and they're being done in Hollywood, which is pretty clear from this article. So there you have it. That's it, and thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.